Hugh and his two best friends are Radar and Ben. Radar is an African-American guy who's just gotten a girlfriend, Angela, who he is taking to prom. They don't know Angela, but they're looking forward to getting to know her, and she comes up to Ben and Hugh at lunch while Radar is in class and says, "Hi." "Hey," I said. I'd had classes with Angela, and I knew her a little, but we didn't say hello to each other in the hallways or anything. I motioned for her to sit down. She scooted a chair to the head of the table. "I figure that you guys probably know Marcus better than anyone," she said, using Radar's real name. She leaned toward us, her elbows on the table. "It's a crap job, but someone's got to do it," Ben answered, smiling. "Do you think he's, embarrassed of me?" Ben laughed. "What? No," he said. "Technically," I added, "you should be embarrassed of him." She rolled her eyes, smiling, a girl accustomed to compliments. "But he's never, invited me to hang out with you, though." "Oh," I said, "that's because he's embarrassed of us." She laughed. "You seem pretty normal." "You never seen Ben snort Sprite up his nose and then spit it out of his mouth," I said. I'm gonna scroll down here a little bit. Are his parents weird?" she asked. I struggled with how to answer that question. No, they're cool. They're just kind of overprotective, I guess." "Yeah, overprotective," Ben agreed a little too quickly. Angela smiled and then got up, saying she had to go say hi to someone before lunch was over. Ben waited until she was gone to say anything. "That girl is awesome," Ben said. "Yeah, I know," I answered. "I wonder if we can replace Radar with her. She's probably not that good with computers, though. We need someone who's good at computers." "By the way, nice call saying that Radar's folks are overprotective." "Well, it's not my place to tell her," I said. "I wonder how long till she gets to see the Team Radar residence and museum." So then they go meet up with Radar, and Ben, and then Hugh says, "Hey, speaking of reasons you wish you had fourth period lunch, we just dined with Angela." Ben smirked at Radar and said, "Yeah, she wants to know why she's never been over to your house." Radar exhaled a long breath as he spun the combination to open his locker. He breathed for so long I thought he might pass out. "Crap," he said finally. "Are you embarrassed about something?" I asked, smiling. "Shut up," he answered, poking an elbow into my gut. "You live in a lovely home," I said. "Seriously, bro," added Ben. "She's a nice girl. I don't see why you can't introduce her to your parents and show her your house." Radar threw his books into his locker and shut it. The din of conversation around us quieted just a bit as he turned his eyes toward the heavens and shouted, "It is not my fault that my parents own the world's largest collection of black Santas." I heard Radar say the world's largest collection of black Santas probably 1,000 times in my life, and it never became any less funny to me. But he wasn't kidding. I remembered the first time I visited. I was maybe 13. It was spring, many months past Christmas, and yet black Santas lined the windowsills. Paper cutouts of black Santas hung from the stairway banister. Black Santa candles adorned the dining room table. A black Santa oil painting hung above the mantel, which was itself lined with black Santa figurines. They had a black Santa Pez dispenser from Namibia. The light of plastic black Santa that stood in their postage stamp front yard from Thanksgiving to New Year's spent the rest of the year proudly keeping watch in the corner of a guest bathroom. A bathroom with homemade black Santa wallpaper created with paint and a Santa-shaped sponge. In every room except Radar's, their home was awash in black Santadom, plaster and plastic and marble and clay and wood and resin and cloth. In total, Radar's parents owned more than 1,200 black Santas. As a plaque beside their front door proudly proclaimed, Radar's house was an officially registered Santa landmark, according to the Society for Christmas. "You just gotta tell her, man," I said. "You just gotta say, Angela, I really like you, but there's something you need to know. When we go to my house to hook up, we will be watched by the 2,400 eyes of 1,200 black Santas." Radar ran a hand through his buzz cut and shook his head. "Yeah, I don't think I'll put it exactly like that, but I'll deal with it." So that's a little part of my book, Paper Towns. I wanted to read that because it examines, hopefully in a humorous way, the implications of our poor imagining, not only of one another, but of our stories. And what I'm excited about with this first project is that we're taking on, in the We Are the Weapon campaign, is that we are taking on the problem that we all have of imagining other people complexly, particularly people who live lives very different from our own in places very far away. That part of the book is, of course, not about imagining other people complexly so much as it's about imagining Santa complexly. But I do think, actually, that we would all do well to imagine our stories as complexly as more complexly, instead of sort of seeing whether, all kinds of people in our lives as simply one thing. For instance, seeing Santa as just a fat guy in a red suit. So that was what I wanted to say about imagining people complexly. I hope that you will participate by signing the letter and encouraging your friends to do so. And you should participate in you can do like a house discussion with your fellow house members.